Channel. I'm going to talk to you today about my pack and what I would carry in it in a typical outing, and we're going to focus on the 10 essentials that most outdoor experts agree on that you should carry. So to start off, my pack is just under 50 liters, 48 liter pack. It's a bit big for a day pack, but generally I'm out with students and I have to carry a little bit extra for those students. I sometimes carry their gear, so I need a little bit extra carrying capacity. So 48 liter pack, you can get down, a 20, 25 liter pack to carry your gear in quite comfortably. So starting off the pack, I like the fact that it has pouches on the outside for water bottles, so it's real easy to get water, so there's no excuses not to keep hydrated. I can carry one on each side. It has a small access pocket here that I can put stuff in that I need and don't want to have to dig through the pack. It's got lots of pockets, lots of lash down points. Got my Fox 40 whistle up here, and it's got nice little pouches in the belt. You can put some snacks. On this side, I have my Bear Banger flare kit. Easy access, real quick to get to. Okay, so let's start. So the first thing when you're getting out in the outdoors, you have to know where you're going. So we have navigation. That's one of the first essentials. So I'm in Kelowna, so I have a map of the area that I'm in. Make sure that you check that the boundary doesn't end when you head up there and your map is useless. Compass for the map. Obviously you need a compass to orientate that map and to do other functions. I also carry with me a Garmin GPS. It also has Topo Maps Canada in here, so I actually have the same topographic map here on my GPS unit, which makes it really handy to work with. And with navigation, I carry a pen and a notepad, and the notepad is handy for jotting down stuff about the hike. So I have that in its own little pouch, so it's easy to get to and everything stays where it needs to be. So navigation, boom. Nutrition is the next one on my list, and nutrition, generally I have a bag of food. If I'm going out for a full day, I carry more stuff. If I'm just going out for a couple of hours, I might only carry some snack bars. Today I brought coffee, had a coffee up here. These instant packets are good. They have a little bit of sugar, a little bit of creamer in them, so they're pre-mixed. Generally I'll carry Cliff bars for energy, just some basic stuff. If I'm going out for a long trip, somewhere far out where I'm going to be using a lot of calories, I might bring a boil in a bag meal. These are great. This one's vegetarian, it's cheese enchilada, but it packs a lot of calories. My one piece of advice is to bring a spoon that's really long so you can get into the bag, because this bag is its own bowl, so you don't have to carry a bowl. You can just eat right out of it. So the long spoon makes it a lot easier to utilize. And I keep it all in the stuff sack, so it's easy to find all in one spot. All right. The next one is hydration. Generally a liter of water. Today I have my dog with me. I want to make sure my dog is hydrated, so I have 2 liters. I also put some tablets in here that have electrolytes and flavor, makes it a little bit more palatable. So a couple liters of water, really important. Sun protection is the next one on the list. For me, I have a bandana that I can put over my head. I don't have a lot of hair right now, so it's easy to burn, so I wear the bandana as my sun protection. But it's a pretty overcast day, so I didn't bother with sunscreen or a hat. I'm not really big on wearing hats. If it's going to be sunny out, then I'll throw in a bit of sunscreen, so I have that with me. It's important though, you don't want to get burnt. Illumination is the next one, and your phone does have light in it, but the battery dies pretty quick, so I have a dedicated headlamp. I like headlamps, hands-free. I keep it in a sunglass case so that it doesn't get scratched up. It's a really good Petzl, small, lightweight. No reason not to carry a headlamp now. They're so powerful and they're so lightweight. This one has a rechargeable battery that lasts quite a while, and you can charge it via micro USB. So I carry a battery pack for that. The battery pack also can recharge my phone, and it can recharge this other item that I have. So really, really handy. Oh. Okay. The next one is basically insulation. So there's a couple of things. This foam pad I'm kneeling on is an insulative mat. If I have to sit, it's nice to sit on, especially in the snow. It keeps me from losing heat via conduction. I have a toque and gloves just in case the weather gets crappy. I have an insulated jacket here that I almost always carry because it's so lightweight. And then of course a Gore-Tex jacket in case it does get windy or rainy. I don't lose body heat that way. So that's my insulation. The next one is communication. Now I showed you my phone earlier. Obviously a phone up here I can communicate quite easily. I've got a battery pack in case it goes dead. But if I'm going anywhere there's no cell phone coverage, then I also have my InReach, which is a satellite-based communicator. It does pair with my phone so I can easily send and receive text messages. But it also has an SOS button that you hit and they will send help. So that's a really handy tool. It also has a GPS in it, so I have a backup GPS unit if the batteries die in my other one. Again, I go off places where it's off the grid and you need to know where you are. It's really handy to have that navigation so you don't get lost and become a statistic. So navigation is really important. After communication, we have fire starting. So in the Outdoor Ed course, we build fire kits, and these kits we've kind of developed these over the last few years where we just have the perfect ingredients to make a fire or two. Again, it's an emergency kit and I only need to use it once or twice, and then I would just restock it. If you're in an emergency situation, you're gonna make one fire, maybe two if it's really, really wet out. So this one, basically I could start a couple of fires with it, plus more, because I'm pretty experienced making fires. I don't always need the contents of this except for the lighter or the matches. So there is my fire starter, my fire kit. The next one is first aid, and first aid could be the bandana, it could be the layers of insulation. They're good at, you know, if you have a really bad wound that's bleeding, you can use those right away to soak up the blood. But I also have a dedicated first aid kit. I have it in a Ziploc bag just as an extra layer of waterproofing. This one it's pretty heavy, it's pretty substantial, and it's for group size of 1 to 8 for 1 to 14 days. I generally have about 20 kids with me, so this is sufficient for anything that we might come across injury-wise. And depending on the trip, we'll bring other first aid kits as well so that we're not worried about running out. But generally on a day hike like this today, I wouldn't carry this big kit. I would bring a smaller one. This is just for illustration purposes today. Emergency shelter, that was the next one, and I'm going to tie that with my the other one is a repair kit on the list. So my repair kit consists of one of these little like a zip, it's like a twist tie thing. The elastic is just to hold it together, but I've got a miniature multi-tool. It's got pliers. I don't always carry this because it's quite heavy, but snowshoeing, skiing and stuff like that, it's really handy to have a multi-tool. Cordage, this stuff is pretty heavy duty. This would double up to use as a dog leash if I needed it. Paracord, I always have paracord. You can fix your backpack with it. The tarp below us can be hung up as a shelter, and we're talking about emergency shelters. So this stuff goes hand in hand. Cordage, this tarp that I'm kneeling on, and this garbage bag. Garbage bag I can crawl into it, it's waterproof. I can line my pack if it's really wet out. I can sit on it and stay dry. I can cover and make a shelter with it. So that's why it goes with shelter and repair kit. And I just elastic this together, need a little stuff sack for them so they can keep all the ingredients close at hand. So that's the main 10 plus items that you would talk about if you were talking about 10 essentials. I'm going to talk about a couple extras that I usually carry. One of them is a stove. It's a real small, it's a cartridge canister type stove. Carry a mug with me. The stove, it's an MSR wind burner. It's really efficient. I have the fuel inside with the burner. These work really good in windy conditions. In the winter, they're pretty good as well. And if I need to warm myself or a kid up, I can boil water real quick, put it in the Nalgene bottle and make a hot water bottle out of it, and have that kid feeling pretty warm. In the stove bag, I also carry fire steel. I've got a bag of tea, and I got a spoon, a little fold-up spoon, and it's all real easy to access and stays in one place. And there it is, stove. Really important when you take kids out and you want to make your trip enjoyable. You stop for a nice warm drink wherever you are. Two more items that I add. This one is really important. Right out here we have a lot of coyotes, cougars, bears. I have run into a situation where I've needed to use all of this from a cougar. I've scared bears away, and I've also used them to scare coyotes off because the coyotes go after my dog. So in here, this is my bear avoidance kit. I have bear spray. This stuff, make sure you check your expiry date and make sure that that safety clip stays in. If it comes out, it's real easy to shoot this stuff, and ask me how I know this stuff is horrible to breathe in. So bear spray. I also have a good knife. This is a Gerber, a fixed blade. I sharpen it myself. It's got a nice, good solid spine on it, so I can baton it through wood. Just a really good all-around knife, and it's pretty lightweight. Last thing in the bag is this little kit here. This has bear bangers and red flares that you can shoot up, distress flares. And this is the launcher, a little pen. I'll do another video on how to use all this stuff at another date. But this is really handy for scaring animals off. I was rescued off Mount Baker, and I had to shoot a flare off for the helicopters. One in our group, he had these flares. He shot off a flare, and the helicopter was able to see us. So they are handy and pretty inexpensive for what you get. So I keep all this in a bag right now, but generally when I'm hiking, the bear spray is easy to access. The knife is easy to access, as are the bear bangers. You saw that in the backpack. This bear spray, if I have this like this in my pack and I come across something, it's gonna take a while to dig this out and it's gonna be useless. So make sure you have it ready when you need it. Okay, the last thing, and probably the most important thing, no, it is the most important thing that I would take on a day trip of any type, whether I'm biking or hiking or snowshoeing, is my prescription for my asthma. I have asthma. I need this to help me breathe. This does me no good at home if I have an asthma attack out here. So this is probably the most important thing that I make sure I take on all of my trips, and that is my prescription. So if you have something that you need, medications or something, make sure that's the first thing you check, the first thing you pack. And this lives in my pack. It's just always in there. It's really important yeah, I have it with me. That's everything. And of course this tarp is real lightweight. It's called a sill tarp. It's super lightweight, super waterproof. It stuffs into a really small stuff sack, this little stuff sack here, and it goes in the pack, and it serves multiple purposes. We'll do another lesson where we talk about tarps and what we can do with them, because there's a lot of things you can do with a basic tarp. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.